All right, welcome to the Explainer. Today, we're jumping into something really cool, the world of science. But forget about boring old textbooks. We're talking about a real journey of discovery. And it all kicks off with one simple question.
Have you ever just looked up at the night sky and wondered, why do the stars shine? Or maybe you've seen a flower bloom and thought, how does it know when to do that? That feeling right there, that little spark of curiosity, that's it. That's where all science gets its start. It's something we all feel.
So, okay, what even is science really? Let's just toss out the image of dusty old textbooks for a second. At its heart, science isn't a bunch of facts. It's something you do. It's a way of thinking, a way of observing. And really, it's a commitment to getting your hands dirty, to figure out how our world, and yeah, the whole universe, actually ticks. Okay, so let's frame this a different way. Think of science like this epic, grand adventure. And here's the best part. You're invited. Everyone is. You don't need a fancy lab coat or a PhD to get in on this. All you really need is one single essential thing. And that one thing? It's curiosity. Yep, just plain old curiosity. That simple little urge to wonder about things, to ask why or how come. Seriously, don't underestimate this. It is the most important ingredient for thinking like a scientist. It's the engine that powers every single discovery we've ever made. And the cool thing is, you can find chances to be curious absolutely everywhere. Science isn't just locked away in some lab. Nope, it's out there in the deepest oceans, and it's happening right there in your kitchen while you cook. It's on the playground, it's in a forest, heck, it's even in a single grain of sand. The adventure is literally waiting for you, wherever you decide to look.
So if science is this big adventure and curiosity is our fuel, what's the goal? What are we building? Well, there's a really great way to picture it. Think of it like a giant, unending puzzle. Just try to imagine it. All of the knowledge that humanity has ever gathered. It's like a massive jigsaw puzzle that's always growing. It's a pretty cool way to think about it, right? It really gets at the idea that all of us, together, are trying to piece together a much bigger picture. And every single time we do an experiment, or make a new observation, or come up with a solid new idea, bam, we've just added another piece to that puzzle. With every new piece we snap into place, that bigger picture gets just a little bit clearer for everyone. But here's where it gets really interesting, and this is the best part. This puzzle, it never ends. See, with a normal jigsaw, you fill a gap and you're done. But with this one, every new piece you place doesn't just fill a hole, it actually shows you the outlines of more missing pieces you didn't even know were there. Every answer we find in science just leads to a bunch of new questions. It's this incredible cycle of discovery that just keeps going and going. Okay, so we've got our adventure, and we've got our giant puzzle. But how do we actually find the pieces? Like, how does science really work day to day? Well, the truth is, it's way simpler and a lot more familiar than you probably think. Let's bring this right down to earth with a super simple everyday problem. Picture this. Your favorite pen just stops writing. Mid-sentence. What's your first move? You might not even realize it, but your brain is about to go through a process that is fundamentally the scientific method. Think about what you do. First, you observe a problem. Hey, my pen's not working. Then, you immediately question it. Why not? Your brain instantly makes a guess, which is just a fancy word for a hypothesis. It's probably out of ink. So, what's your test? It's simple, right? You unscrew the pen to look. And finally, you analyze what you see. Is the ink cartridge empty? If it is, boom, you were right. But if it's not, you don't just throw the pen away. You make a new guess. Okay, maybe the tip is just clogged and you try something else. That whole process, that little loop you just did in your head, that is science in action. And that simple example, that brings us to what I think is the most powerful idea we're going to talk about today. This method, this way of thinking, it's not some secret code just for people in lab coats. It has nothing to do with who you are and everything to do with how you think. The second you start following that logical, step-by-step process to figure something out, guess what? You are working just like a scientist. Period. Just think about it for a sec. A cook wondering why the dal boiled over. Did I put too much water in? That's a hypothesis. A mechanic who's carefully looking for that tiny little leak in a tire, that's pure observation and testing. An electrician who checks the bulb first, then the switch, then the fuse box, that's the scientific method, plain and simple. And yeah, you do it too. Every single time you try to figure out why the Wi-Fi isn't working, or how to put together that piece of furniture. And that's really the main point here. This amazing tool for figuring out the universe. It's not some secret knowledge that's kept under lock and key. It's just a natural part of how we all solve problems. That simple act, just asking a question and then looking for an answer, that makes every single one of us a part of this grand scientific adventure. So what's the bottom line? How can we make this way of thinking a bigger part of our everyday lives? It all boils down to one really fantastic piece of advice. And I gotta say, I love this one. It's so simple, but it's super memorable. You've gotta nurture that curiosity. Don't just take things at face value. Ask why. Ask how come. Because the road to being truly wise is paved with those questions. Being a wise person, that's step one. So let's end with a little challenge for you. The world is just packed with things to explore. There are mysteries hiding right out in the open. So just look around you. Let yourself be curious. What's one thing you're wondering about right at this moment? What's the one question you're going to ask today?